time for Oliver of Carzapp.
Yeah.
Welcome
Thank you,
back
Jan.
to Ecosummit.
Thank you very much. So yeah, thanks Jan for having me here. I'm Oliver, CEO and co-founder of Carzapp. Some of you might have seen me already before. We've been at a couple of Ecosummit events since we have a very close connection with Jan, one of our crowd investors. And I would like to talk today a bit more about where we are right now and what we've done in the past, like how we merged to where we are today. So Carzapp, to make it short, is generally connecting cars to the internet, making them accessible, physically accessible via smartphone, and also the information from the car accessible to the internet. So that with this, we enable new services that our customers want, like car sharing, rental companies that want to operate their fleet 24/7, corporate fleets that want to make their cars accessible around the clock and easier without manual key exchange for their employees, and even insurances that want to have an option to enter the market for pay-as-you-drive insurance tariffs in the car market. So the basic problem, as I mentioned, is of our customers today to access a car, make them accessible for the car sharing customer. It's been a hassle so far with the technical devices that are on the market for Zipcar and so on. They're way too expensive, way too complicated to install. What we've done is we've constructed a complete solution to manage the access. We've got a car management platform where you can enter cars of your fleet and then make them accessible for all the users that have the right to use them, make them bookable, and of course accessible via smartphone. The second part, apart from the online platform, is our main USP. It's our device, the Zapp Kit. Originally developed for peer-to-peer private car sharing purposes, we then realized that the market dragged us away from peer-to-peer towards B2B. So the business customers saying, hey, we want this for our fleet, for our car sharing fleet, whatever kind of fleet. And the device is unique because we can, with one box, independent from car manufacturers and car models, make any car that has a central locking system accessible and pull some data out of it. So who are our customers today? As I mentioned, we have, for example, Spot Car, Opel car sharing in Berlin, in a free-floating model like Car2Go and Drive Now, you might know. We have a rental company called Starcar, a medium-sized rental company in Germany with 2,500 cars. They just started to equip their fleet now with 50 cars. We have a bank that I'm not allowed to name yet, which is very extremely interesting to us because they have more than 30,000 car dealers just in Germany that they finance cars to, and that from next year on they're going to start finance car sharing equipped already cars, and so a car dealer can rent out test drives and so on, manage them via our online platform, and we manage everything around for this bank, and they do the sales and marketing for our platform there. So the segments that we see that are all covered with this one box are quite widespread. And the interesting part is we do not offer the services ourselves except one management platform which fits all. But then the customers can offer new services. For example, we have people delivering logistics companies delivering during the night into cars. They've been doing that before for 20 years. But now they can do it with one app or one member card instead of 20 or 30,000 keys that they ran around through Europe during the night to try to search in cars, and then open the car, try to find the right key, and have all the trouble that's along with these keys. And so they save a lot of money, and that's where we come in. So you would say, well, there is Zipcar, there are other companies. As I mentioned, we have the difference to the other hardware providers that we have one solution fitting every car, which makes it by a factor of around about 4 times cheaper than our main competitors so far, which was is inverse. We have one American competitor that is in the fleet space. It's only restricted to fleets that are in a closed community where there's no security issue because they don't have an immobilizer like we do, and their product is not automotive certified. That means that we are able to directly get in touch with the OEMs, and that's our next step. We're talking to one of the biggest rental fleets in the world that they will equip their whole fleet and with our technology. And and have a cooperation there with a tier 1 supplier, somebody like Bosch, Magna, Continental, who will then produce the ZEP kit for us so we can sell the services afterwards on that. And that's where we want to go, and to be able to do that, we need to be very close to the manufacturing, not to the manufacturer themselves, but to the tier 1 that delivers to the manufacturer to scale this business. So we are looking for an investment, a Series A at the moment, to scale, to internationalize, to further develop the product, and to be able to serve more customers in more countries. So we're looking for a €2 million investment in total. If you're interested in this space, please feel free to come to me in the break and talk about potential there. If you're looking for a solution for your fleet, of course, as well. Thank you very much.
Great, Oliver. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan.
Well, I think what is interesting to remember, you started off as a peer-to-peer company trying to create a marketplace, and then you made a pivot, a strategic change or strategy change to become a car-sharing enabler, and now revenue has started, and you feel a lot better, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Go and talk to him if you want to invest, or just one more question from you. Wait for the microphone, okay? Let's.
This is a very stupid question. What's the revenue source? Selling the box or some sort of...
Yeah, very good question. I would just cut it down a bit because of the time. We sell the box with a margin. We get a monthly revenue for the services on that, depending on the services. And for example, in this case where we manage the car sharing for this bank, we get a fraction of the revenue per rental of 15%.
Right. And how much software is there in that? Is there a great deal of intelligence? Or is that something you actually can buy from someone else?
No,
that sounds very difficult to do.
The software, do you mean the firmware on the hardware, or do you mean the port, the web port?
Sorry, the sharing, the thing that enables people to share the cars, not the hardware, which I presume is essentially about access control.
Yeah, no, we've got the sharing platform is there. It's ready. It's just we're transforming it right now. As Jan said, we had a car sharing platform ready when we decided to pivot away from being an operator ourselves. Okay. So we've got the platform, and we're now making it ready to be easily adopted to be a white label solution. For example, this bank will have a bank-carsharing.com website, and so we're white labeling for a couple of customers right now to be able to integrate them later into the Carzapp platform. With, for example, also peer-to-peer car sharing providers, like we're talking to a biggest German one, it's Autonetzer, there are not so many left, and a French one. So that's our goal, to become a mobility provider and car management provider as a roof.
Aren't you going to end up in roughly the same space as the previous plug?
One question. Thank you. You have to talk in the break. I can feel it.
I can feel it. Okay. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.